What is up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here. I'm with Perri Goldstein, coming to you with another edition of Cheesehead TV live Packers trivia. Perri, how the hell are you?
I'm doing just fine. Made it through Monday. Monday still sucks even in quarantine.
It does indeed. Is it that much different than the weekend, though? Really? I mean, other than the fact that you have like responsibilities for your day job. I mean, we're all pretty much living the same life day to day. It's kind of Groundhog Day at this point.
Yeah, I have more to do during the week at least.
That's true. That's fine. That's good. I had
On
my
the
first
weekends, it's like,
weekday.
what do I fill my time with now?
I had my first weekday with my kids in the house during work hours, and that was an adventure. It was good. It was fun times.
Nice.
Hello to everybody in the chat. What's up, everybody? How y'all
What's up?
doing? Jim, Brandy, Ann, Jonathan. How are teams handling pre-draft physicals and workouts given the coronavirus? That's a really good question, Brandy. A lot of them got shut down. None of the prospects are allowed to visit. They are doing
Nope.
lots of video
Personal
conferencing,
videos.
like we're doing right now. But as far as visits and or physicals, the only medical information they're going to get on these prospects this time around is what they got during the combine. I know a lot has been made of Tua and his availability and the lack thereof and his hip, etc., things of that nature. Guys like that who needed medical rechecks, they're not going to have anything readily available specifically for the teams, but they will have updates from personal doctors, third parties, and things like that. But teams aren't going to be privy to medical stuff the way they were or they usually are leading into the draft.
I've seen a few guys make their own videos with whoever they're
Yes.
training with at home and send out to teams
Right.
to show them doing drills and things, but it's tough for guys who are coming off injuries for sure.
Absolutely. But again, I mean, they do get poked and prodded for like a week at the combine. Yeah, Tua, again, as an example, literally spent from, I think it was 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. with, full, almost a complete day doing nothing but medical stuff for teams. And obviously, he's not the only one. He's just the obvious example in this draft class. But guys have been in front of medical personnel for all 32 teams. It's just a question of guys who need rechecks.
Or guys that
Like the
weren't
video,
invited to the
y'all.
combine.
Brendan, yes. And those undrafted types, the guys who weren't invited to the combine, they are going to suffer this round, so to speak, this year. There's zero question about that. Have you paused amidst the pandemic to remember how much the Bears still suck? That's a really good question. Have you, Perri?
Yes.
Have you really thought about it?
Well, I did a whole podcast with Maggie on the moves of the rest of the NFC North, where we really dove into how piss poor the Bears and Vikings are this offseason.
That's a fair point. And if anybody is interested, they should check out Pax What She Said, the podcast that Perri co-hosts at CheeseheadTV. It's fantastic, regardless of whether they're talking about the Bears sucking or the Packers themselves. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
All right. All right. I think we've fooled around long enough. Are you ready? You ready to play some trivia here, Perri?
Let's hit it.
All right, what's up, everyone? I'm Aaron Nagler. I'm here with Perri Goldstein, CheeseheadTV, live Packers trivia. We're back. Hope everyone had a great weekend. It's a live trivia game we're going to be playing hopefully each and every weekday during this extended weird period of our lives. Perri, why don't you tell the folks at home how the game is played?
Okay, so you get 10 questions. You can submit your answers. You get 30 seconds, but the faster you do it, the more likely you are to be in the lead. Please, before you send in your answer, don't forget to use a hashtag because that's the only way you'll get it right. If it's a 2-word response, you only need to hashtag the first word. And we'll show everyone the top 5 every so often and then the top 10 leaderboard throughout the game. And it's really fun.
There you go. It is really fun. And as she said, please be sure, hashtag the first word of your answer each and every time, or else the API/computer/space wizards here, both at LiveX and at YouTube, will not count the answer. And then you'll send us an angry email that we have no control. So
It's not our
make sure
fault.
you hashtag. It's not our fault. Perri, why don't you start us off with the first question?
Okay, this is such a good one. All right, which Packers player invented the Lambeau Leap? Was it Robert Brooks, Leroy Butler, Edgar Bennett, or Desmond Howard?
You know what? This is such a memory lane question because I know obviously we do lots of historic stuff in the trivia game. A lot of it being like founding of the Packers, stuff from when they first started, the Curly Lambeau era, etc. This is obviously a more recent vintage, and I think this kind of touches on the widest kind of demo when it comes to Packers fans. And it is so funny how this is one of the easiest questions, I think, in Packers trivia, the pantheon of Packers trivia. But it's also like one of the greatest things that everybody knows where they were when it first happened, assuming they were around. All right, I think we've had enough time. Obviously, those of you in the know, and that's most of you, the answer is Leroy Butler. Though he began his life wearing leg braces and spent his childhood in a wheelchair, Butler created some of the most influential moments of any football player throughout the 80s and 90s, including the iconic Lambeau Leap. The day after Christmas in 1993, the Packers hosted the Los Angeles Raiders. In the fourth quarter, Butler forced a fumble by Randy Jordan. The ball was picked up by Reggie White, who then lateraled the ball back to Butler at the Raiders' 25-yard line. After scoring his first defensive touchdown of his NFL career, Butler pointed to some fans in the south end zone and jumped up towards them. That leap began what is now one of the best and most famous touchdown celebrations in football history, which Packers players still use today. What do you think about that, huh? Let's take a look. Let's see how people did, shall we? Ooh, hello.
Nice.
That is a close group. Hey, there's your girl Gretchen in the top 5 there, Perri.
Love it.
All right. I'll go on to question number 2, shall we? How many Super Bowls have the Packers won? 2, 5, 1, or 4? Remember, use a hashtag. Your answer won't be counted. How many Super Bowls have the Packers won? 2, 5, 1, 4. This is a hot one. Real hot one. Where were you when they won their last Super Bowl, Perri?
I was in my home, in my basement, with my dad and my sister, watching together.
Nice.
It was awesome. Yeah.
I was with family.
I can't watch big important games, at bars or around other people. I get too nervous. Although I was only 15.
Well, it still strikes the heart, It's all good. All right, Perri, why don't you tell them how many Super Bowls the Packers have won?
The answer is 4. The Packers have tasted victory in the Super Bowl 4 times, including the first 2. After the 1966 and 1967 seasons. We also won 9 NFL championships before the Super Bowl era, hence Titletown. The Packers have appeared in 5 Super Bowls total, winning 4. Their only loss came after the 1997 season at the hand of the Broncos, but we don't talk about that one.
Correct, we do not. Walsh, throw it up there. Who did what? How did they do? Look at your girl Gretchen. Throw it down.
Let's go. 4 seconds. Wow.
Man, just barely edging out. Wow. That's like a tie.
How did 3 people come in at the same time?
Exact same time. The first 1/10 of a second is the only one that's shown. But if we continued on, the gradations would be apparent. That's how close it is, people. That's how quick you got to be on the draw. Walsh, can we go to a top 10? Oh, there we go. There we go. Look at that, folks.
This is a close game.
We're 2 questions out of the gate, and it's already a It's already heating up. All right, let's move on to the third question, which is
which two former Packers were set to be inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame this spring? Was it Winters and Hasselbeck, Howard and McCarron, Woodson and Harris, or Verba and Jew?
Frank Winters and Matt Hasselbeck, Desmond Howard and Larry McCarron, Charles Woodson and Al Harris, or Ross Verba and Bao Zhu. Man, Bao Zhu. Shout out to a legend. Bao Zhu. One couple of those four was set to be inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame this spring. Which was it, people? Gotta let us know. Make sure you use the hashtag with that first name, or your question, your answer will not be counted. Telling me. And for those of you living under a rock, the answer, of course, is Charles Woodson and Al Harris. Prior to coronavirus wiping out the offseason calendar, Woodson and Harris were set to be inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame. Woodson was drafted by the Oakland Raiders in 1998 after winning the Heisman Trophy at Michigan. He came to Green Bay in 2006, was selected to 4 Pro Bowls, and was named the AP Defensive Player of the Year in 2009. Harris was drafted by Tampa Bay in 1997. The Packers acquired him in a trade in 2003, and he played 8 seasons in Green Bay. In a 2004 playoff game, he memorably had a game-winning overtime interception for a touchdown after Seattle quarterback Matt Hasselbeck declared, "We want the ball, and we're going to score." And I'll be known for that sound clip for the rest of my life. Seriously, if you go to any Monday Night Football game when they have the whole ESPN crew there, Hasselbeck walks around pregame because they have that house right by the stadium. So he'll be there, but he'll be walking around like from the truck to the set or whatever. The man cannot move. I was at the one of the places across the street. I think it was Hagam. No, it was the parking lot right by Kroll's, and he was walking across the street, and he can't go 5 steps without someone yelling, "We want the ball. We're going to score."
I don't know how he even shows up. He has to expect it.
Hey, props to him. Props to him.
Yeah.
All right, Walsh, let's see how people did on the old question there. All right.
Some new
Oh, my
names.
Goodness. Look at this. Green Bay
Everyone's
Productions.
so speedy.
Down. Very, very speedy. Okay, some new faces there. Let's see how that changes things in the top 10, shall we?
Can I make a request that everyone have a picture? I like the picture. I want to know. I don't know.
The pictures are good. It is linked to their YouTube account. So if their YouTube account doesn't have an avatar, that you get the blank thing. So don't have a blank thing. Make Perri happy, people. All right, let's go on to the next question. When did the Packers stop playing selected home games in the city of Milwaukee? Was it 1991, 1989, 1994, or 1997? Again, when did the Packers stop playing selected home games in the city of Milwaukee? 1991, 1989, 1994, or 1997? All of those are from before you were born, right, Perri?
Yes. This is becoming a theme now, isn't it?
Hey, man, you know, when we brought you on board, Corey really had the idea that you were going to make fun of me. You're way too nice. So I'm just going to start making fun of you. It's all right. It's all right. You want to punch back? I'm ready. Anytime. Whenever you are ready. Walsh, how are we doing? Has it been 30 seconds? I don't think it's been. Oh, my goodness. The results are...
Okay.
Perri,
the Packers played selected home games in Milwaukee from 1933 until 1994. They used 4 different stadiums until Bob Harlan decided all home games should be played in Green Bay. And I agree with that.
Rightfully so, exactly. God bless Bob Harlan.
Why
all right,
play
Walsh.
less games at Lambeau?
Seriously. Oh, look at this. More new names. Here we go. Brandon had that down hot, man. Look at that. Matt Osborne representing. All right. Steve Miller. The Steve Miller is here. I don't think that's the Steve Miller.
No.
Steve Miller, hey, buddy. Thanks for coming around after that hot pre-game performance at Lambeau Field the other year.
Joe's in the lead.
Look at this. Look at this. We got Joe, blank joke, Is that a real name? I like it. Sam Spear. I'll tell you what, Sam Spear is a regular, and he is killing it. You know, I like it.
Yep.
All right, moving on. As they say.
Okay.
Give us the next question, Perri.
All right. What was the address of Vince Lombardi's first home in Green Bay? This is a fun question. Was it 222 Mission Road, 1265 Southridge Road, 1213 Oneida Street, or 200 North Broadway?
Anybody who's read David Marinus's When Pride Still Mattered will know the answer to this one. Provided they didn't skim over and skip this section, which is one of my favorite parts in the whole book, when Marinus describes Lombardi packing up his family and driving from New York to Green Bay. My favorite part of the entire book is when he describes the family being like really kind of joyous and really talkative, and then making that turn at Chicago and then suddenly starting to drive up. And this, they did it in the middle of the winter. So it's like all of a sudden,
God.
Chicago fades into the background, and then they've got a stretch of like a lunar surface out in front of them, and all talking ceased until they basically drove up through Wisconsin to this address. Walsh, are we ready? Can I read the address? Of course, Lombardi lived in the house at 222 West Mission Road for about a year before moving to a new custom-built ranch at 667 Sunset Circle, less than 2 miles away. He lived there the balance of his time while coaching the Green Bay Packers, and then Lombardi moved to Washington, D.C. in 1969 to coach the Redskins. But yes, Lombardi lived, his very first home in Green Bay was at 222 Mission Road. Here you go, Perri, a little trivia there for you on the trivia show.
Love it.
All right. People took a little longer getting this one right.
This is a tough one.
Well, it's trivia. You gotta throw it down. We can't have all sorts. I know.
Yeah.
New face at number one in Cameron. Well done.
Oh.
Cameron, look at that. Shooting up the board.
Jumped
Sam,
up.
my boy Sam representing. How come your girl Gretchen always like represents early and then fades? You know, we gotta get Gretchen like up here throughout.
Yeah. Come on, girl, you got it.
All right, here we go. Ready for the next question?
I am.
I'm gonna kick it off here. The press box in Lambeau Field is named after which former beat reporter? Is it Bud Lee? Is it Bob McGinn, Lee Remmel, or Cliff Crystal? Bud Lee, Bob McGinn, Lee Remmel, or Cliff Crystal? All gentlemen I've had the pleasure of meeting, some more pleasurable than others.
What's that press box like, Aaron?
It's lovely. And I will admit, it is still a kind of pinch yourself kind of moment when you're there. At least for me. It's
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. It is weird too, because it's like your Twitter feed come to life. Like, you know, all the beat reporters on Twitter are just hanging out, like having lunch or like reporting on the game or whatever, and they're all there. It's just like, whoa, hey, it's my
You're
Twitter
a real
feed.
person.
Yeah, exactly. I always joke we should have our Twitter avatars on our credentials. Make things a lot easier. All right, tell them the answer, Perri.
Okay, the press box at Lambeau Field is named for Lee Remmel, who reported on the Packers for the Press-Gazette and then worked for the team as both Director of Public Relations and team historian. Remmel was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame on March 30th, 1996, and the press box was dedicated to Remmel during the remodeling of Lambeau in 2003. Both things that I was alive for.
Ah, well done. They have a great shot of him. Great, big, huge black and white shot of him when you walk in the press box. And he was a real inspiration as a kid. He was on there on the pregame show on the local CBS affiliate back when CBS used to carry the NFC games. And he was. They would always do picks, and everyone around the newsroom would give their picks about whether the Packers would win or not. And Lee Remmel was like the original Corey Banke. He would never not pick the Packers. He always picked the Packers. It was great. All right, give us a
true fandom.
Oh yeah. What's the top five? Who got it? Joe, 4 seconds. See, now Joe knew this. There we go.
Yeah, clearly.
Representing Real DK. What's up, Real DK? How you doing, buddy? Throwing down there.
Welcome back.
We got some new faces in that top 5. What about the top 10? How we looking? Ooh, Cameron's still holding strong. Has the same spear. I love it. All right, Perri.
Yeah.
Keep her moving.
Okay, which local area school houses Packers players during training camp? Is it St. Norbert College, University of Wisconsin Green Bay, College of Menominee Nation, or Lawrence University? Is my Wisconsin pronunciation not good for you?
Oh, shit. Sorry, folks. If you're answering St. Norbert College, don't use a period on Saint. Sorry, that's a tech thing. That's our fault. Okay, and give them the last possibility.
Oh I said Lawrence University.
Very good. I think I was talking over it. That's my bad. St. Norbert, UWGB, College of Menominee Nation, or Lawrence University. I should have given you the phonetics on that. Forget not everyone's from the old motherland where all those Indian tribes.
I'm a transplant.
Yeah, you are. That's a good thing. Packer transplants, baby. That's what we're all about. Dedicated to Packers fans worldwide. That's what we do. Oh boy. I can't see all these places you've never been. We got to get you to Lambeau and training camp and all this. It's got to happen. St. Norbert College has hosted Packers players for training camp for more than 60 years. The tradition began in the summer of 1958 and has continued uninterrupted since, making the longest continual use of any training camp facility by an NFL team. Well, there's a little something you didn't know. All right, let's see who knew the answer to this one. Joe again with the rocket speed. Oh, Cameron coming in close at number 2, though. I think that's going to be enough to keep Cameron at number 1 on the top 10 leaderboard. Show me, Walsh. Yes, indeed it is. And I just want to give a shout out to our friend Nick Walsh, LiveX producer extraordinaire, who is literally producing this show. All the graphics you see, the music, etc., the intro, outro, everything from his home in Astoria, some blocks away from where I am. This is the environment we're living in, folks. We ain't doing it from no studio. He is doing it from his home in Queens. Because you know what?
You rock, Nick.
We do not stop bringing you content here at CheeseheadTV for no coronavirus. We keep going. That's what we do. Oh, all right. Okay, let's see the next question. We got 3 more. Okay. Power through here. What year did the Don Hutson Center open? What year did the Don Hutson Center open? Was it 1987? 1990, 1991, or 1994? Another event prior to Perri gracing us with her presence on this earth. I love it. I just love how this is the needle. Stick the needle in a little bit. It's like choreo. It's gotta press the buttons. Gotta press the buttons.
It wasn't a button until you decided to make fun of me for it for so long.
It's what they in the biz we call a running gag. It's like in the Muppet movie when they talk about Hare Krishna. It's a running gag. You know, it's good.
Oh boy.
All right, give me
the answer is the team's main indoor practice facility opened on July 18th, 1994, at a ceremony attended by Hutson himself. It features 2 practice fields, 90-foot ceilings, and a field turf surface that resembles most indoor stadiums. And you will see many videos of Packers players throughout the season practicing there, including some Jamal Williams dance moves.
Indeed. Very, very true.
Those are my favorites.
All right, who knew the answer to that one, Walsh? Ooh, Jimmy. New name at the top there. Brandon, Andrew, Cal, a lot of new names. We're hip to the Don Hutson Center info. How did that shake up the top 10?
Wow.
This 3 people with near identical scores. That's amazing.
Cameron's staying strong.
Cameron is staying strong. It comes down to the last 2 questions. Tell us, Perri, what's question number 9 here?
After Brett Favre, who has the longest streak of consecutive starts at quarterback in the NFL? Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, or Russell Wilson?
I would say this is a trick question, but it's not really a trick question. But I think there's an answer that a lot of people will think it is, but it's not. And the actual answer will surprise some people.
A little around the NFL trivia over here.
A little around the NFL. Well, it's tangentially related to the Packers.
Of course.
A lot of people guessing certain answer, which is incorrect, I may add. Which is kind of that's kind of my point.
The answer didn't surprise me.
Well, because you're a learned scholar of the NFL, Perri. With your you host your own.
What's
podcast.
the answer, Aaron?
Oh, I'll let you know just as soon as I'm back on my script here. Oh, it is Phillip Rivers. Rivers has started 235 consecutive games, including playoffs. Favre's record stands at 321. Needless to say, don't expect Favre's record to fall anytime soon. I saw a lot of people answering Eli Manning, and Eli was the leader up until he got benched in favor of Geno Smith 2 years ago. And Phillip kind of took over after that. And Eli was probably, if you have to think, if Eli had stuck as the starter, he probably would obviously have stayed ahead of Phillip. But because he got benched, Phillip Rivers remains, and now will probably continue that streak for at least one more year with the Colts. There you go. Okay, let's see who knew this, because I think, like I said, a lot of people got that one wrong.
Brandy.
Look at Brandy throwing it down. Brandy knew what was up, as did Andrew, Sam, and Tom. Let's see what's happened to the top 10. I smell an upset here. Sam Spinner pulling into the lead. Cameron dropping down to number 3. Look at that. All still with 9 correct answers, but the time matters.
Just like that.
Hashtag in on time, people. So, got 3 correct who have gotten all 9 of these correct so far with one final question. I mean, I don't know, Perri, you ready to do this?
Yeah.
All right. Ask the final question for the folks.
Who performed at the halftime show of Super Bowl 31? Diana Ross, Prince, Michael Jackson, or the Blues Brothers?
Man, all iconic acts, by the way. Like, if you were throwing a party and you played nothing but music from those 4 artists, you would have a banging time.
Rockin' party. Indeed.
Very, very much so. Oh,
you know what's one of my most vivid halftime show performances? It's not what you expect.
Oh boy.
I think it was
Up with People?
Yes. I think it was Giants Patriots, but I can't remember. But it was when the Who performed the halftime show, and my family friends, we used to watch in a group of family friends, same house every year, and the kids were just sitting there while the parents were like standing up and dancing and going crazy. And I remember all of us just sitting there like, this is fun, this is interesting, and like it was enjoyable, but our parents were just like so excited.
Well, that was the last of the geriatric rockers who got to play the halftime show, because that was like they just bled that stone dry. Like, it was like, who else? What the bones of what dinosaur rock group can we throw up there to please
those
the
were
olds,
more fun,
so to speak? No, it was good. It was great. All right, of course, the answer is the Blues Brothers, and in fact, it was called the Blues Brothers Bash, and it featured Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, and James Belushi. And they were joined by James Brown and ZZ Top. And I'll never forget it, because I watched that Super Bowl with Corey Banke, and the next day, one of our favorite teachers, Leslie Hunt, who was this old, wizened English voice teacher, she said, that halftime show was an abomination. You didn't know where to look, and it just sounded horrible. And it was so busy. There was no focus. And absolutely 1,000,000,000% she was correct. It was a bit of an abomination, but the Packers won the Super Bowl, so it didn't really matter.
It didn't matter.
But that was That was the answer. So let's see who got it right there, Nick Walsh. Matt Osborne knew that one. He was coming in hot. A good almost full, at least a second before everybody else. Oh, there we go. There we go. Some new names. Some new names there. Let's see how that shakes out in the final top 10 leaderboard, Walsh. Sam Spear pulls it out. Look at the timing on that. 1 second difference, folks. That's all it takes. Cameron held strong for most of the game. Comes in at number 2.
Well,
look at that. Some impressive bragging rights for Sam Spear. I'd say 3 people got all 10 right. That's pretty damn impressive. That's some.
They
that's
know
a
their
smart group.
Packers facts.
Smart group of folks we got here at the old CheeseheadTV live trivia. Perri, any parting words for our friends in the audience there?
Just that I hope you're enjoying these as much as Aaron and I are. We hope to bring you some Packers content to, forget about what's going on in the world for a little bit. So
Absolutely.
it's been fun hanging out with you all.
Absolutely. I'll be doing the Extra Cheese live chat a little bit later tonight. In the meantime, please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, come join us each and every day for Packers trivia here on CheeseheadTV. Thanks a lot, everybody. For Perri, I'm Aaron. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Good night.